Welcome to the Lockdown Economy, a social non-profit initiative by the think tank AlterContacts to help small businesses and self-employed professionals overcome the challenges of the pandemic and reactivate the economy. My name is Karen Rickes, and today our guest is Jane Bertch. Jane is the founder of Cuisine Paris, which is a French cooking school that offers a variety of cooking classes in English, from croissant to macarons and cheese and more. Hello, Jane. How are you today?
I'm very good. I'm glad to be here. Thank you, Karen.
Thank you for being here. Jane, this is your second interview with Lockdown Economy already. How has the pandemic affected your business since we last spoke?
Well, this is an interesting question because I slightly feel like I'm in a time warp. When I was thinking about what's changed in the past year, and it's coming up to a year, not a lot has for my type of business, being in culinary tourism. We are pretty much in the same situation that we were a year ago, still learning every day, still trying to figure out how to manage through this, because the biggest challenge is we don't have visibility on how long this will last.
Yeah, I see. So there's quite a bit of uncertainty, especially surrounding, as you said, the industry of tourism, which was probably among those most severely hit. You did mention in your last interview that you, sort of decided not to change your business model too much. Could you maybe elaborate a bit on that and how you've been managing the crisis?
Sure. So some of the things that have changed, of course, we've gone much more into the digital world than I had intended to. And I did that with trepidation because so much of what we do when you share culture is about the proximity to the guests that you have. And trying to translate that through a Zoom call is quite difficult. So I think we've gotten better at managing that. And if I look at what are the core values of our business, it is around closeness to our clients and sharing. So we continue to build onto that and still operate in the same way that we have been, which is building a community and sharing. We're just now really more positioned to doing that virtually than we ever have been.
Okay, I see. So what are some of the sort of digital complementary services that you're offering right now?
Sure. So I think at the time when I spoke a while back, we were just really putting our toe in the market of what we were going to do. We launched some cooking videos, and I did that as a foray before doing anything live. And those were well received, but they didn't tick the box of the closeness that clients wanted, even though they could certainly see the same team on the videos. It was that feeling like they were here in Paris and talking with us. So what we ended up supplementing that with is live Zoom classes that we did very carefully. It took us a while to get there because I wanted to make sure the tone was right. You know, when you're introducing something that looks like a similar product, it actually isn't. And it requires a lot more work and attention because you want to create that sense of community with a computer screen. So that's been a challenge. And on the side of that, we continue to build in our community with our people, our other small businesses. So we've developed a number of partnerships and we continue to expand those and look for new ones every week.
Yeah, that's great. I guess that's really important and really, supportive in these times to actually have that community backup, so to say. What are some of the partnerships that you're referring to, for example? Do they help you also with your complementary offer?
Sure. So some of the partnerships that we've done, we've built on an older partnership we have with a cooking equipment store, E. de Hillerin, where we are sending packages of equipment to people in their homes. We built a partnership with Paris Wine Company where we're sending wines to clients. Outside of that, we've started to look at how can we expand the offer of things that we can send to people in their homes while they're waiting to travel to France, but still give them the feel that we're here. So we're always looking for other small businesses to partner with and see how we can create what we like to call our care packages. You know, those nice things that clients get and they can open it and they feel like they've got a little bit of France at home with them.
Yeah, that's really nice, especially now that probably a lot of people or a lot of us are craving to be in Paris rather than stuck in home office.
Yes.
So What's sort of been, the response of the clients? Are you maybe communicating with your clients to kind of see if you are catering to their needs?
Absolutely. We do that very actively. Thank goodness we've got social media for that. You know, social media is a business communication tool, and we try to use that regularly to talk about what we're doing, to solicit ideas. You know, I always say that we get the best ideas from our clients. So I will put something out there and wait to see how they respond to it. You know, certainly things are in peaks and troughs more so than ever. There's an excitement, and then there's fatigue, and then there's excitement, and then there's fatigue. So we see that over and over and over again. And we're just trying to make sure that we've created a product or a network that really holds steady through those ups and downs we have, which are just, I guess, a normal life cycle of living a year without visibility in the middle of a pandemic, and there's no rule book for that. So we're all trying to find our way.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, trying to sort of respond to all that uncertainty, these ups and downs by being in steady contact.
Absolutely.
It's not only the customers, of course, that are experiencing this uncertainty. It's you and your team as well. How's your team responding to or handling the crisis?
Much better than in the beginning. And I think we've all just resolved that we have to just get through it. You know, some of the team members, even though we're in constant contact, are working elsewhere at the moment where they can, you know, hopefully pull in a bit more income for themselves. We do have team members that are here regularly doing Zoom classes, but are supplementing that. You know, in this industry, which can be rather transient, we've had a really stable, well-connected team. So to be in a position where we're not seeing them all regularly, or we're not able to provide the amount of classes and customer interaction, that's been tough. But you know, we know that this is just the way it has to be right now, and we'll hold steady until things come back.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good to just pull together as a team for now and make the most of the situation. You did mention that sort of in the beginning it was sort of tougher. Now there's been some period of maybe getting used to it, getting accustomed to the situation. What would you say are sort of some of your biggest learning in managing this crisis?
I think the biggest learning is, and I thank Brene Brown for this, is really accepting being vulnerable. You know, when you are a business manager, you realize every decision you take is well outside of you. It impacts the team that work for you. So being comfortable early on when people are looking for answers, to tell them that you're looking for answers too, and you don't have them all, but they should be rest assured as soon as you do, you'll share them and you'll try to find the best way to move forward. So that's been a very big learning lesson. It's, you know, pain is easier tolerated when you know how long it's going to last for. It's like if you go to the doctor for a shot, you know, it's that split second where you're worried and then it's done. And this has been like sitting in the doctor's chair for a year waiting for the needle to approach. So it's that anxiety, and you're not sure exactly how long it will go on for. So that's been tough.
Yeah, I can imagine. I think, that's a very, very vivid metaphor, probably one that a lot of people can relate to.
Maybe a bit painful. I could have chosen something a bit more elegant, but I think it gets the message across.
Definitely, definitely. So yeah, to sort of go back a bit to that uncertainty and not knowing when the shot will come, so to say. What's then sort of your position at the moment, your outlook on the next couple of months?
So the next couple of months, and one thing I have learned is I've gotten very careful about forecasting, because this time last year, my forecast was, okay, we're probably going to have a tough summer, but things will be back by the fall. And then as that started to trickle on, you readjust and readjust. So I don't know that I've got a good answer for the next months, except for they will continue to be uncertain. And we just, we have to rely on the information we get from the government, you know, and so much is outside of our control that we've I can't really give a good answer for that. So I do know that I just have to remain focused and steady on our current plan until I really do see a change, and not to drift out of hope, but to drift out of, this is really actionable and we can move forward on this.
Yeah, makes sense. I understand. So the current plan then sort of being to, yeah, perhaps extending sort of these complementary offers that you have at the moment and continuing to engage your community.
Absolutely. Continuing to do our Zoom classes, which this is a wonderful tool that we can use now in the future, because there's always people that come to Paris and then they can't travel next year and they may want to connect. Well, now we've got a fabulous tool to do so. I hadn't intended this being the entire business plan, but that's what we have for the moment. So until I sense that we can pull back from that and go to on-site classes, then I'm going to go full force into that and make sure that we do it the best way we can.
Yeah, that sounds good. And yeah, as you said, there's probably many entrepreneurs out there right now that are now sort of, yeah, trying to move forward maybe with this hybrid model to a certain degree. I do remember also from your first interview that you sort of had to put some plans on hold for yeah, sort of future product or service lines. Yeah, what's sort of the situation or the status of that at the moment? Are you planning on maybe adapting those to the circumstances as well?
You know what? So that's a very good question, Karen, because in any sort of business, you should look every year to how you can refresh yourself, how you can change your offering, because we do have repeat clients. So every year I'm forced with what can we do new? And a lot of what we want to do new is going to require the same model that we had before. Having said that, I can use this time, which is really precious, to solicit people, see what they'd like to do. I've got plenty of time to craft really unique experiences and products. So rather than saying, okay, well, they're on the back burner, I won't look at them again, I can look at them, and I have time now to really, engage my audience to see if they'd like to go to Bordeaux, or if they'd like to have this type of experience, for when they're able to get here. So to still keep that momentum, I think, is quite important.
Yeah, that sounds great. So basically trying to make the most of the situation as it is right now by, yeah, perhaps taking that step back and reflecting on, okay, what can we do to improve or continue in the situation as it is?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds really good. Well, to kind of round off the interview there a little bit, to support you in your yeah, reflecting, making the most of the situation, could you perhaps name 3 things that you could use help with in the next couple of months?
Oh goodness. I guess the 3 things, but these are so. They haven't changed because of the pandemic. They've just gotten exacerbated. Any business, and when I think about the feelings I have now and the fears I have now, even though it's very much related to the pandemic, it's the same experience I had when I started, and it's the same experience every new business has. Can I make it? Will I survive? How can I get clients? So those haven't changed. Now they're just to a different dimension. So I'd say the 3 things that are very important always for any business is visibility. We'd like to have visibility on how we can work, but in the absence of that, you want to be visible. And now is particularly an important time for small businesses to get visibility, and they get that through clients sharing their information or people passing on their contacts. So that's always important. So I'd say that's number 1 that I could use, and I'm sure all businesses could use. Number 2 is network. Being an entrepreneur can be incredibly lonely, and you feel that you have the weight of every decision on your back, and having a community of peers around to share and discuss that with is quite important. We're all exhausted and in an absence of time and information. We don't have all of those things. But we do have a little of each. So if we take time to share, the information we have, then we create a much richer experience for all of the entrepreneurs. And that's why I love what you guys are doing, because that's exactly what this is. It doesn't take much for me to sit and share my story, nor for me to hear somebody else's. And hopefully in turn, we'll learn a lot. And the third thing I think I need individually, not just as a business, is to continue to remind myself how I can keep my well full. And when I say that, it's, it's exhausting to get up every day trying to think about how we're going to do things. And it drains you physically and emotionally. And I have to stop every week and think, what do I need to feed myself? What do I need to keep me full of energy, to keep me thinking, to keep me hopeful? So to constantly think about, where do I seek that energy, and do I take time, very precious time, to refuel myself?
All right. Thank you so much for that. And
Thank
as you
you.
said, I hope that we as Lockdown Economy can do our small contribution to helping entrepreneurs, increase their visibility, increase your networks. So thank you very much, Jane, for sharing your insights with us today. Do you have any last words to our viewers?
My last words are, I guess, let's not have this conversation in 1 year from today. I'll be very happy to see you, but let's be, hopefully, knock on wood, talking about how we all in the entrepreneur community were able to come out of this and to really just accelerate ourselves because of the learning we did now.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. That sounds good. Feel free to contact Jane using the links in the description of the video below. I invite you to like this video and subscribe to our channel. On our channel, you can find many more insights from entrepreneurs in many different countries and business sectors. Please have a look and stay tuned.